Phenotyping with the LemnaTec PhenoAIxpert. The PhenoAIxpert is a laboratory plant phenotyping system. It's dedicated to image pots or trays, petri dishes, MTPs and more. It comes with an AI-powered analysis of the taken images. The PhenoAIxpert consists of an imaging cabinet and a computer system running the LemnaTec Software Suite. To work with the system, we first start the Lemna control software on the computer. This is the starting screen of Lemna Control. We navigate to the Initialize tab, click on Initialize System and wait for the system to get ready for operation. Now we can continue with the sensor configuration. That means we can do settings on the camera and on the light. We navigate to the Sensor Unit Configuration tab. And we place a sample inside the system to check whether the configuration is right. The PhenoAIxpert has a top and a side light in the cabinet. Both of them can be switched via the configurations, depending on what you need for the image. The further point to set is the camera exposure. This is also relevant to get a proper image. It's a bit of try out before you start your real experiment. Therefore, we have the possibility to take test images, and the test images show whether exposure and light are matching. Note that usually darker looking images are better for image processing rather than brighter looking ones. When we have found a proper set of configurations, meaning light and camera exposure, we can store that configuration. It's stored on the computer and depicted in the list. We can later select it for imaging. To set up an imaging process, we leave the Sensor Configuration tab and go to the Recording Configuration, because here we can combine different sensor configurations, meaning different settings of light and camera exposure, to a recording configuration. When we have selected one or more sensor configurations to establish an image recording configuration, we can save that configuration and take it for later imaging. To start imaging, we navigate to the Recording tab in the software. There we get the interface for imagery. Here we select one of the recording configurations that we have stored, type in an experiment name and a sample name, and then we can already start imaging. Now the system works off the recording configuration, meaning it does light and camera settings and takes one or more images according to what we have programmed before. After taking the images, they are displayed on the screen so that you can see them in the preview. So now you see the pot with the Arabidopsis plant that I have put in as a sample in the beginning. When imaging is finished, we remove the sample from the imaging cabinet, and then we could set in a further sample for the next imaging round. The system can not only take Arabidopsis images, for instance here is a spinach seedling, or an MTP with some leaf discs. All these types of samples can be imaged with the system, and matching recording configurations can be set to get good images. Establishing configurations takes place in a pre-experiment. When you have found the proper configurations for your sample, you can start your measurement campaign with a number of samples of that type. Recorded images automatically transfer into LemnaExperiment. Here you can continue working with the images, including doing analysis. Analysis programming happens in LemnaGrid, the graphical programming interface for image processing programming. For details on image analysis, please have a look at our software videos. Image analysis delivers area, color, and morphology of the plants, like here with the spinach or with the Arabidopsis plant. Of course, it's also possible to establish an analysis for leaf disks, like here in the example. Information is given per disk. When you have finished imaging, navigate to the Initialize Shutdown tab and shut down the software. Then you can also switch off the cabinet and the computer. LemnaTec PhenoAIxpert, a laboratory plant phenotyping system for imaging and image analysis.